creating a safe space.
It's such a huge problem here, and I just wanted to make people a little bit more aware. The dancing event is part of 1 Million Rising, a campaign that is helping victims of violence to have a voice and educate others. 1 Billion Rising events are going on in 200 countries around the world.
I'm Cohen. Shalhavit is currently getting her master's at Harvard. Always a student, always doing so many things. I met Shalhavit back in 2012 at an event at the Multi-Service Eating Disorder Association outside of Boston. We've been in and out of each other's lives ever since. I've sort of followed Shalhavit as she's done events and photo shoots and done activism all over the world. I get calls from Israel and London and all over South America. She's just truly amazing. So we're so lucky to have her expertise in positive psychology and to have her expertise in activism here today.
Thank you so much. Shut up and take off your pants. The man ordered me. If you know me, I would never, ever listen to anyone ordering me. But at this time, I knew that might be my only chance for surviving. Hi everybody, my name is Shalhavit-Simcha Cohen. I am a mixed race. I was born to a North African mom and a Caucasian dad. I was bullied a lot in my childhood for my skin color, for my body, and I'm excited. I want to share with you my story. So growing up mixed race with a lot of body shame and color shame, and slowly realizing, identifying as LGBTQ, knowing that I'm different. I'm also a survivor of anorexia, and sadly a recent survivor of rape. And I want to share with you part of my story, but before that I want to ask you a question. When you look at someone in the street, I know that I look a little bit different today. I have those funny wings and my hair color and my funny accent. But those thoughts that you have when you look at someone and you think that you know, actually, I want to show you a picture. It's a little game. And ask you if you could count, it's very light, if you could count as many geometric shapes as you can find in the next 10 seconds. You ready? How many geometric shapes could you find in these pictures? So 10 seconds begun. You could look at all the shapes so you can see what are shapes. All right, who can tell me how many shapes they found? Yes, 6. How about you? More than 6. Anybody else? 42. Oh my God. 10. 11. Jeez, this is really hard. 12? The truth is, I actually don't know how many shapes are on. But I want to ask you if anyone knows, what color was the circle on the bottom left? Yellow. Does anyone know how many children are on the bus? Or no one counted the kids. And how about what time was it on the clock? We didn't look at the clock, we didn't look at the shapes. We didn't notice the colors. Because we noticed the questions that we ask. The questions that we ask is what we're gonna see. And in reality, we look at people and we ask specific questions and we see what we ask, and we could be completely blind to how many kids are on the bus or what color is the right circle on the top, which is pretty simple. Here, I can give you the picture. There you go. So today in psychology, there are actually experts that help you ask the right questions. The American government actually employs psychologists to help ask the right questions in conflicts. When you ask what's wrong with the other side, what's not working, then that's what you're going to see. When you ask what is working, in Israel and Palestine, do you know how many collaborations we have between the countries? But no one asks what makes these work. So how do you know how to actually make things happen? I want to ask you, to try and look around and see a person that you wouldn't have made eye contact with otherwise. And I want you to go and introduce yourself. That positive eye contact. Awesome. Thank you so much. Wasn't that exciting? Do you know that when we talk to someone that we don't know, our brain releases oxytocin, which is a hormone that makes our body actually healthier and makes our immune system stronger? When we talk to other people, especially people that we wouldn't talk to otherwise, we get excited. And that's a really, really positive thing. You see, what happens today in the world, it's this crazy, crazy place that evolution is actually at, I think. I kind of define it as like a tipping point of, did you know that in the Middle Ages in Europe, the nobles would sleep with their wife, with their children, with their servants, with their maids, with their guards? They would all sleep in one bed. And today we'd kind of see it as crazy, right? Today we have our own home, we have our own clothes, we have all the evolution buttons pressed. So what are the evolution buttons? One evolution button that we have is danger, right? We gotta be careful from danger. So we're gonna notice everything that's dangerous. And so we're at this place in evolution that the news is so good at showing us all the dangerous things. Back in the days when there was something dangerous or when someone got hurt, you would know the person. It was from a person from your village. Today you see that in the news. You don't even know the person, but you see all that pain in your face. And back in the days, if someone got hurt, you had your family because you lived with your parents, you lived with your grandparents, you lived with all your extended families, and you come to support a social support system. Today, medicine talks about so much the importance of the social support system. Do you know that 100 years ago, 99% of the orphans, the baby orphans that were given to an orphanage, 99% would die before the age of 7 months? And it was like this special disease, and they started making those babies even more isolated and more clean, and the babies died even more. Until there was one nurse that went behind the cameras and kind of went and touched each baby because she just felt the need to. And that hospital, babies started to stop dying. And that started a whole research on the importance of touch. See, so our generation, like, we have the evolution button of danger that is so in our face. And we have another evolution button, which is shelter. Back in the day, we had shelter together. But today, we know so well how to have shelter that I live in my own place, I have my own room, and I don't see anyone throughout the day. We're in this very special moment where we're sitting together, but when you look outside on the street, most people are just walking on their own. We're so much less together, and we have, another evolution button is food. We have food. And we find ourselves in our shelter with all of the food that we need. So what do? We either eat all the food, or restrict all the food, or stay alone because we don't know what to do with the food. And we kind of forget about each other. And then we see all this crazy violence on TV and we don't know where to turn to. Do you know that across America, people were asked about if they have someone to talk to. 37% said that they don't have someone to talk to. Out of them, 19% said that they don't need someone to talk to. So we're talking about ending violence. And the violence today, we're in they're smaller numbers. Steven Pinker at Harvard University just published a book about violence. And in numbers, there's less and less violence in numbers, right? The city of Pensacola is not gonna go and kill the city of Miami. It doesn't happen today, right? There are less numbers, but we're more exposed. But at the same time, we're more alone. And we see all the violence in front of our face, and so we're more sensitive, and we don't have where to turn to. And that's why depression rates and suicide rates today are 20 times more than the 1960s. I'm sorry, I'm throwing all those numbers, but they're important. They're shocking. Back in the 1960s, the average age to first time experience depression was 40. Today it's 12. There was suicide and people go and shoot each other. That violence is because we go crazy. We don't have each other. We're not together. And this is what we're trying to fix here today. We're coming together as sisters, as brothers, as family. We're making eye contact with someone that we wouldn't make eye contact with otherwise, and we're learning to connect to the other, to not feel alone. Because that loneliness is the most sickening thing that we have. the Harvard Medical School started a project called the Unloneliness Project, and they're launching it soon. There's a lot to be done. But what I want us to do now, have you heard of a book called How to Make Friends and Influence People? Dale Carnegie. I keep on forgetting him. So Dale explains that when you want someone to listen to you, you don't come and start saying, hey, this is me, and this is me, and this is me, and how can you help me? Because that just kind of, it doesn't impress people. The secret for companies, I've been working at the MIT Entrepreneurship Center, and so what we tell companies is go and find who is your customer, who is the other person, what did they need? We're in this place today where we don't listen to one another. My mom says, what is the difference between monologue and dialogue? Monologue is one person talking to themselves. Dialogue is two persons talking to themselves. Do you know that the most selling word in emails today, if you want to sell something, the first or second word should be you. So you is the word that makes us tick. When you actually listen to the other person, when we have a conversation usually, like if I'm talking to you, you're talking to me and all I think is what am I going to say? So what I want us to do is this ancient practice. It's called co-counseling. I have a lot of friends who practice that. I want you to find a person that you wouldn't talk to otherwise and pair up when I say go. And I want you to listen to the other person for 3 entire minutes. I know that's a long time. At MIT we did that with 6 minutes. So I think 3 minutes is fine for the outdoors. But when you listen to the other person, I'm gonna say go, and every time I say go, one person would talk for 3 minutes. You could talk about anything, you could talk about this event, you could talk about your life, you could talk about the fact that you don't know what to talk about. That usually happens after like 30 seconds to a minute. You realize that someone's actually listening, and you realize that someone's not gonna like answer back, and you get lost. So what you do at that moment, it's part of the co-counseling practice, is you could like shake, do something physical, like stretch, or yawn, or cough, or laugh. Don't worry, the other person will know that you're not bored by yawning. It's actually the talker who could like do something physical to actually keep on talking. It's hard to talk for 3 minutes, but we could do it. So I'd like you to pair up, find someone that you wouldn't talk to otherwise, and I'm gonna say go, and we'll have each talk for 3 minutes. Okay, choose who's gonna talk first, and go. 3 minutes ago. The other person just listens. You could nod, say yes. No comments, just ignore. And so, I guess now I want to share with you something, because you had each other to listen to, and, well, you did listen to me, but, so I wanted, so many things I wanted to share. I wanted to talk about my rape, I wanted to talk about my obsessions. I share so much research because I'm a little bit obsessive, if you haven't noticed. I'm a perfectionist, I went to Harvard, I've been working in MIT, I worked for the government, I did all this crazy stuff. I was, in 2011 I was Miss Fitness of Israel. So actually I got a trophy for the perfect body, which was such a lie. Because you know what, the first thing that I had in mind when I got on stage, I was sharing this the first time today, but I got on stage, I'm standing there with the trophy, and I'm thinking, what an embarrassment for this country of having someone nominated to the Miss Fitness with such big thighs. I mean, all this perfectionism and, you know, and trying to study what's the best thing, what's the right thing to do, and being this perfect got me to the hospital. And the hospital was, I think, the hardest place, but also the best place in my life. I met there a woman who went through so much shit than I did. I felt so embarrassed to be there. I felt like I'm not worthy to be there. Other people should be there because I'm not as bad as them. I only have like my own enemies. Like, they actually had real enemies. I didn't experience rape back then. So I was like, hey, it's just me against myself here. And but I had a lot of time to think, and that was the amazing thing. If you're in one space, you can't go anywhere. They force you to eat. That picture of me taking a bite, I'm serious. It's still a journey, and I'm still not recovered yet. One day I will be, and I'll share that story. But when I left the hospital, I decided to go online. I'm 33 years old now, so that was 3 years ago. I got out of the hospital and I celebrated my 30th birthday, and I was so ashamed and so embarrassed. And I had so many people approach me with all those, you could help this company and do this. And I decided I'm going to go online and post a video of all the things I'm embarrassed about. And the video started with, I'm going to just reenact it because I saw it the other night. I was like, ah! I'm 30 years old and I'm a virgin. And there are a lot of things that I haven't done and a lot of things I'm embarrassed about, and I want to share them. Actually, Naomi, we should cut that out. All right, never mind, I'll keep on talking. And the video just keeps on me rambling for half an hour. And that was my 30th birthday gift to myself. And here I am a little bit scared, so I'm going to lean back on research and say that authenticity is, and that's why I kind of channeled my interest. Authenticity is the biggest predictor for attraction. We're less attracted to bodies than attracted to personalities. When someone is real, the reason that reality TV is taking such a crazy time now is that our brain is set to pay attention when something is real. When something is fake, we notice it. Actors are really good. Our actors actually experience what they're going through because we're very attracted to authenticity. And another thing about being authentic is you attract the right people. When you try to be someone else, you attract people who are someone else attracted to, and then you try to be that someone else, and that puts you in a lot of stress. And depression is like an accumulation of stress. And living with someone that you're really not meant to be with because you're trying to be something else doesn't work. So being authentic is the first thing that I try to focus on, and that's when I found the LGBTQ community and the BDSM community, actually in Boston. Two communities that are very, very, very taboo. But the two communities also that are the most not embarrassed people. They're the most not ashamed people of their bodies, of themselves. You know that we bring people from BDSM community to Harvard, to Harvard College and to Harvard Medical School to give workshops on how to communicate about Pensacola matters. In the fetish community, when you meet someone, if you want to encounter in some sort of way, which doesn't have to be sexual, but you talk about it. You say, hey, what are you comfortable with, what are you not? Are there certain words that you're not comfortable with? Do you have certain triggers? How long do you want this to last? And how much time do you want to allocate for aftercare? All right? So it's not kind of I meet you, we do something, and we go home. No, it's I meet you and I plan to maybe you to hold me after if I'm planning to execute a fantasy. I would probably need some time to talk about it later. And so the fetish community taught me a lot, and the LGBTQ community taught me a lot about myself and that it's okay to be as different as I think I am. And it's not that different when I meet so many people that are like me and are talking about it. And speaking of taboos, so I grew up Jewish, religious, and there was a rabbi in the town nearby that he was the most tabooed rabbi for so many reasons. But I recently heard a story about him. He was walking, I heard it from his student. The student of Rabbi Shlomo Karlabach was walking with Rabbi Shlomo through the streets of Manhattan, and he was starting to be ordained. Rabbi Shlomo Karlabach, the teacher, with the student, walking through Manhattan in an alley and at nighttime. It was pretty dark. And Rabbi Shlomo starts stopping by every beggar and every stranger and talking to them and giving them a big hug. And his student was those rabbis with their suits and everything. He's oh my gosh, what are you doing? And they get to a corner, and there's this big man who's half in the shade, dark skin, covered with tattoos, kind of smelly. And Rabbi Shlomo says, hey, I'm going to go upstairs for a few minutes. How about you stay here and chat with this guy? So the student stays downstairs, and he's all shaky, and he's oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And so he looks at the guy and he's what kind of music do you like? And the man says, oh, I like jazz. And he's oh my gosh, I love jazz too. And we start talking about jazz, and we start talking about their interests and what they're into and what they have in common. And 20 minutes later, Rabbi Shlomo Karloff comes downstairs, and the student is like, I'm sorry, I have to go, but can I give you a hug? And they just hug, like, really big hug, and they walk away, and Rabbi Shlomo Karloff turns around to him and says, tonight is the night, you're ready. And that night he ordained him to be a rabbi. So, I have a million stories, but I would like to, take a few minutes, but I would like to open the space for someone of you to share a story. It could be a personal story or a story of a friend. A story of overcoming barriers, of, a story that relates to anything actually that I said. But specifically of someone that you thought was different, and you made the effort to get out of your comfort zone, and you overcame the stigma. It could be with a person, with a thing, and I'm going to just share an awkward silence until someone is willing to come up and share something. Please. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, Joe.
I'm Joe, obviously. I guess I'll just do a personal story of why I'm here today. I joined Active Minds because mental illness has always been a big part of my life for the past 4 years and through my entire high school experience. I've had 20 or 30 close friends come and go from my life. They've had everything from depression to bipolar to schizophrenia to dissociative identity disorder. I dated a rape victim for 2 years. I've seen more than I wanted to see in high school. And the reason I'm here today on Valentine's Day, I've been through 2 relationships in the past year, 2 really deep, intimate relationships, and when I broke up with the last one, I didn't break up with her, she broke up with me 3 months ago. For some reason, I finally broke. My heart was broken, my mind was broken. It seemed for a long time, for 3 years of my life in high school, I had dedicated so much and invested so much in other people and learning other people and making eye contact and just experiencing other people's pain that I had forgotten to grow myself. And the reason I'm here today is because it was so hard to get out of bed this morning on Valentine's Day after everything that I went through in the past 3 months and all the times I've been kicked in the teeth by friends, family, and so I guess that's overcoming my personal stigma just thinking right now. I'm usually a pretty open guy, and I guess all else I would say is if you ever need someone to talk to.
Thank you for being here, Joe.
Thank you so much. All right, please, one more or 2. Come on.
Hey, my name's Amanda, and I'm here because of my friend Savannah and my friend Inu. Oh, there she is. I just want to shout out to both of these girls for being so awesome to me. I went through a really rough patch where I just bed camped, that's what I call it, where I just camped out in my room for days on end, refused to be social. And Inu would blow up my phone constantly, where are you? Come hang out with me. And just the fact of how aggressively she wanted my friendship, that really brought me out of my room. And back out here. And then love it so much. And then my friend Savannah, I met her actually sometime last spring, and she was down here with her boyfriend. He's from Canada, he's awesome. And I just went up to a table with my friend, and they were mutual friends with him. And we sat down and started talking, and we just kind of been friends ever since. And she's incredible to talk to, and she's one of the realest persons I've ever known. And just both of them, like the combination and like the fact that I have like these amazing girlfriends right now with me just has been incredible for like building myself back up from the plethora of tragic and tragicomic events that have happened to me over the past 2 years, and I'm like forever indebted to them. And I just feel like a new person and finding that completeness and wholeness and like accepting myself because they accepted me first. And that's incredible, and I love both of you, so. Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda.
And thank you guys. Yes? Oh, will you be pushed?
I feel really like exposed right now. Is that weird?
I know. How does it feel?
I don't know, like liberating, but like sad at the same time. Why is it sad?
Well, it's not sad. I mean, people go through things.
I know, it's hard.
Yeah. Hi. I'm the philosophy club. Hi. Sorry, I love RuPaul's Drag Race. It's my life. My name's Janelle. I'm the philosophy club president for the Socratic Society. Everybody should come to the meeting. And I came here to volunteer for domestic abuse, but I always I just didn't realize how much I ignored my own pain. When I was 17, I went and got married, and that was not a good relationship, and he was pretty awful, and he did things to me that you shouldn't do to somebody, and then I got pregnant and I laughed, because, he wants to stay in that and have a baby. But then, through that pain and sorrow, I picked myself up, and I was like, I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to make a difference for all the people that are just can't get out of bed, because I finally experienced depression earlier this year, and it was awful for you because I'm so happy all the time. And sometimes you smile through your pain, but getting in that bed and not wanting to get up it just wasn't cool for me. And finally, I was like, you know what, you're allowed to be sad or carry that pain, but a smile at the same time. And I'm always down to listen to somebody talk and be a friend to everybody and talk about philosophy. Because philosophy is really sacred, honestly. But I just love seeing everyone here and dancing and having fun, because oftentimes, even when we are sad, we just get so lost in it. And it's important to know that we have a world full of people, and there is somebody that can share your pain with you and you can share theirs. So anyways, thank you so much for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. I tried.
Thank you. Yeah, just remind us, it's a weird time in evolution that we're, we have everything, and we have a space, and we're so lonely, and we don't understand why we're so lonely. We don't understand why we don't want to reach out to a friend. It's crazy, but it seems so weird that someone would want to talk to me. It seems so weird that someone would want to listen to me, and why would I ever do that? Is there anyone else that would like to share a story? I think you would. You don't have to.
Can I just speak loudly and not speak into the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. Microphone's here. Something that I'm seeing more and more is the "you're enough" phrase, the symbol and the sign. And I kind of think that we forget that a lot. And so, I guess I just wanted to be here today and bring our group out, obviously, to be a part of it. But I think I just wanted to tell everybody that everyone should remember that they're enough. And if there's ever a time where, one person is not accepting, it's just one person. Just one person, and it doesn't matter your stigma, your whatever community you're a part of. Without going into too much detail, just wanted to remind everybody that you're great. It doesn't matter if you're not
Thank you so much. Yeah, so Professor Pennebaker at, I think, University of Pennsylvania found that people that have secrets tend to also have more mental illness. So he started this study on expressive writing, and I'm kind of doing my thesis on it right now. It's hard. But you know, expressing is very important. You know, he studied the importance of writing your experience, but I really think that we need to share. I know that I need to. I know that it's something that's hard for me, and I know that we all feel awkward and we all feel like why would anyone want to listen to me? And what helps me in my recovery, I'm still not recovered. Still taking those bites of food is like, you know, having a lot of other parts of my head trying to shut them up. And you know, when I talk about it, it's like it's not in there anymore. And the other person could talk about it too. And you know, and it's also okay to ask, hey, is it okay to talk about it now or at all? Because it could be triggering for people. But yeah, we really need each other. And a lot of takeaways that we could take. There's also a Facebook group that we started for 1 Billion Rising. I mean, this is a huge group right now. Like we have so many planets and worlds here, and hopefully next year we'll have even more. But yeah, we have our Facebook group. You know, there are a lot of Facebook groups, and there's a lot to say for social media for isolation, but it's also a place to meet people that are like you. I mean, I found the friends websites to find people who have the same craziness as I do. So, you know, you could use these things, but you know, it's very, very important to find people and to be together and find a safe space. And you know, and we're looking to a future where we feel safe anywhere, like right now, like right here. I feel safe. I'm wearing my butterfly wings. um, so yeah, so that's my takeaway. What is your takeaway? If anyone wants to share, what is their takeaway from today? Unity.
Oh, you can speak it.
Sorry, I had to steal the microphone.
Go jump! Woo!
About the you are enough point, it's kind of sad that everyone here and a lot of people around the world now are just trying to be enough. And they just think that, oh, I'm not enough, I can't be enough. Everyone here right now is more than enough. Everyone here right now is brave. Everyone here right now has a story. Everyone here right now has a life. The fact of the matter is, everything that's important, and just like you said, evolutionarily speaking, nowadays everything that's important is going to involve other people. It's going to involve your friends, your family, people you love, people you care about. But above those things, make sure you care about yourself too. Because everyone here is more than enough.
All right, thank you very much. If anyone wants to say anything, speak now or speak later on Facebook or to your friends. I'm very sad that this felt like really long, but it was only 45 minutes. Thank you guys for being part of this. We're gonna put the music on. We could dance, we could stretch, we could do yoga, butterfly yoga moves, yes. And nice. And hang out and have food and be together because that's what we're here for. Thank you so much. I love you.
Yeah, we're going back again. Yeah, I think we can like slowly warm up and like move around and then you can do that.
A campaign to end violence against women has come to Pensacola. 1 Billion Rising was dancing through Seville Square, raising awareness. Channel 3's Jacqueline Kovac tells us more about their mission. Dozens danced to music blaring in downtown Pensacola. aiming to stop violence against women this Valentine's Day.
It's such a huge problem here, and I just wanted to make people a little bit more aware, and also have a place where victims and survivors could come and actually feel supported and feel like Pensacola was behind them.
The dancing event is part of 1 Million Rising, a campaign that is helping victims of violence to have a voice and educate others about their needs.
This event is to fight violence through bringing people together, encouraging people to talk to each other, encouraging people to open up and feel safe. It's very much about creating a safe space in public where it's not always a safe space.
Shalhavit tells me she makes others feel safe when she talks about her past. Sometimes it's enough to make them share their own stories.
That's our hope, to first of all, open up people, make more people more aware, and make people feel more safe to share their story, especially by other people sharing their story. And there'll be different stories.
1 Billion Rising events are going on in 200 countries around the world. This is the first year the event is happening in Pensacola.
That this is about all of us, that this is something we have to do together. Victims can't do this in isolation. We have to do this together.
In Pensacola, Jacqueline Kovac, Channel 3 News.